And welcome back to Magic. Now, I was going to do a top 10 list, but turns out we have some what look to be pretty confirmed leaks for Commander 2017, at least for one of the tribal decks. And one of them, not surprisingly, is a Dragon Tribal. They're big fatty creatures. It's one of the creature types of Magic that works best in Tribal, especially for Commander, so it just makes sense. And we have a lot of cards to go over. I will just go over, and I'm going to go over the ones that we already know about these cards in terms of their cards already exist. But still, it's still worth noting that these are going to be some of the cards in the Commander deck. So, we have Broodmate Dragon, which is the 4/4 Jund Dragon, which makes a token that comes into play with flying. Great card, I use it. We have Steel Hellkite, another great card from Scars of Mirrodin. We have Haven of the Spirit Dragon. It's an alright card. Spellbound Dragon, another card. It's alright. We have Tyrant Familiar, which is one of those older command cards. It's got Lieutenant, as long as you control your commander, things along those lines. We have the Fate Reforged Commander Dragons, or a legendary dragons. We've got Dramoka, Artarka, Kolagog, Ojutai, and Silmgard. But then we get the new stuff. So Wasatora Nekoru Queen is a 5/4, 2 of any color, 1 black, 1 red, 1 green, 5 altogether. Cat dragon. It looks like a giant panther with bat wings. You can find these. It's not hard to find. Is a 5/4 flying trample dragon, cat dragon. Whenever Wasatori Nekoru Queen deals combat damage to a player, if that player sacrifices a creature. Now, if that player can't, you create a 3/3 black, red, and green cat dragon creature token with flying. They also have this token that is adorable. Now, this token has led some people to believe that it might not be real because this just doesn't look like a cat dragon token, but it's a little kitty cat dragon with wings. It's adorable. It's just a little black kitten with wings. As for the card itself, now I look at it from the stance not as a Commander player, because I do not play Commander really, but as someone who would put this into a casual deck. And someone who's put this into a casual deck, this card's freaking awesome. This card, because it's a card that doesn't have downside. Any card that doesn't have downside with these messed up abilities is not a card to be underestimated. This thing says, okay, when you have trample and flying, means you have evasion and you have more evasion. You're going to deal combat damage to a player in some way, shape, or form. They're going to have to sacrifice a creature. And if they can't, you're going to get direct damage. You're going to get a free token creature in there. So that card's pretty sweet. We have the Ur Dragon. Now, this one's a mythic one. There's 2 mythics that showed on here. And that is the Ur Dragon, the UR, or the UR-Dragon. 9 mana, 4 of any color, and then 1 of each color, white, blue, black, red, green. 10/10 Legendary Dragon Avatar. Okay, let's see what you got to offer. What he offers is a new ability called Eminence. As long as the Ur Dragon is in the command zone or on the battlefield, under other dragon spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Now, that's not saying a great deal. But, first off, he has flying as well. Whenever 1 or more dragons you control attack, draw that many cards, and then you may put a permanent card from your hand onto the battlefield. Now, just from a commander standpoint, this card is freaking ridiculous. Because right off the bat, all this thing has to do is attack, swinging for 10 flying. Even if they have something to block, you're attacking, getting a card, and probably playing another dragon. From a casual player standpoint, I love big fatty creatures. I do. I have 3 different 5-color decks. I have one that's specifically a dragon deck. I would try to see if I could use this, but this thing is costly. This thing costs a buttload to play, which is why it's a commander creature. So I don't know if I could play it or would play it. What I do know is this deck is a 5-color deck, which is very interesting. It also makes me actually wonder if some of the other decks might be 5-color decks, but just in different tribes. What I do know is, though, it's fantastic art and it's a great commander card. I'll just see if I think it will do anything in any deck I have, or will just take up room in the binder. The last card, though, and this is the card that I just love the way this thing looks. Okagachi, Vengeful Kami. Again, one of every color. So one white, blue, black, green, red, and then one of any color. So one of every color, and then one of any color, is a 6/6. So it's a 6/6 for 6, more or less. Flying Trample. Again, no downside so far. Whenever Okagachi, Vengeful Kami, deals combat damage to a player, if that player attacked you during his or her last turn, exile target non-land permanent that player's controls. This thing punishes your opponent for trying to kill you. Unless they're a burn deck, this thing, and even then, there's no downside, because let's say they didn't try to attack you. You're still swinging in with a flying 6/6 trample creature. But if they did try to attack you, which a lot of times they are going to, you now get to exile the thing that they were attacking you with. It's beautiful. Plus this artwork. I love these skeletal-looking dragon appearances, but the fact that this is a dragon spirit means they added, and from Kamigawa, means they get to add a whole bunch of other things, like snake tentacle things, which is, I don't know if this is wings or if it's just tails or whatnot, is just beautiful art to look at. I can't love it enough. Now, there were two other cards spoiled. Let me see here. Where is that other card I saw? Commander. I know I saw it. Where are you? Just two cards. One is very simple. I'm currently on NTG Salvation. Where is it? I know it's. Oh, there it is. Tagami, I believe, to be precise, it is Tagami Ojitai Master. Now, this is a rare human monk, 1 blue, 1 white, 2 of any color. Legendary creature, human monk, 3/4. Instant sorcery, dragon spells. Instant sorceries and dragon spells you control can't be countered by spells or abilities. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell from your hand, if Tagami Ojitai Master attacked this turn, that spell gains rebound. So this clearly goes in the dragon deck because it specifies dragons on there. I honestly wouldn't use it in a dragon deck. Not because it wouldn't serve its purpose, but it wouldn't. I'd have to tailor a dragon deck with instants and sorceries as well as the dragons, and that's just. It can be done, absolutely, but I think this card actually does work better in Commander because of that. But if you're just using it off the instants and sorcery effect, plus whenever you cast instant or sorcery after it's attacked and it gains rebound, I can see this card being very useful and very in the repetitiveness, especially if you're running Jeskai, add the red in there and you got burn spells. I'm going to burn, or I'm going to attack, burn, rebound, burn, attack, burn, rebound, all that. You can just have shenanigans. Shenanigans ensue viciously and hard. The last spoiler we have is Ramos, Dragon Engine. Now, Ramos, I actually have a card from Ramos. Which part of Ramos do I have? That is the question. I believe I have Ramos's... I have the Skull of Ramos. If I will be so kind as to show you, lovely folks. There we go. The Skull of Ramos. Now, Ramos, it was never hinted actually what Ramos was. I thought it was like maybe a demon or something like that. But it is add 1 black mana to your mana pool, sacrifice this, and add another black mana to your mana pool. And all the Ramos color cards represent a color. Like I think there's the claw, the fang, the wing, things along those lines. Each of them represent a specific color. Well, now we go, because Commander has a beautiful ability to be able to go back into the past. And see cards that we never would have been able to see otherwise. Because they don't exist anymore in terms of the Magic lore. So Ramos Dragon Engine is 6 of any color, 4/4, legendary artifact creature dragon. Flying. Whenever you cast a spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Ramos Dragon Engine for each of that spell's color. So you're going to run this in a multicolored deck. Absolutely guaranteed. Now the fact that, as one person says, Progentis fell in love. Remove 5 +1/+1 counters from Ramos. Add 2 of every color to your mana pool. Activates ability only once each turn. Essentially, add 2 white, 2 blue, 2 black, 2 green, and 2 red. Gee, what creature card has that exact same mana cost? Oh yes, the legendary god avatar Hydra from Conflux that has protection from everything. Yeah, so in that sense, this card, and even if you don't use it for that ability, you're still going to be getting all this mod to play whatever you want. So this card is amazingly good. Or you don't have to get rid of the mod. You can just keep putting +1/+1 counters on this giant flying dragon engine, if you will. So yeah, it's a solid card. Obviously, it fits in Commander format very well. But I do have a deck that runs Progenitus, so I can definitely see putting him in that deck. But that's my thoughts on the Commander cards. I think they all look cool. I was glad I was right that the Dragon one was going to be a thing. The question is, are Sphinxes, Angels, Hydras, or Demons going to be a deck thing later on? We'll find out. I hope at least Hydras get a thing. I want Hydras and Dragons are two of my favorite creature types because I love reptilian monsters. But anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll be back a little later with a Who Would Win. Later.